Hi, it's Joanna Hunter here, and I am joined by my beautiful client, Carol, today. Carol, come and introduce yourself and tell people what it is that you do in the world.
So I am a doula, and I have a doula certification program that's international and national. I live in the Chicagoland area, and in 40 years, we've served over 4,000 families, delivered 1,200 babies. And I'm a mom of 8 and grandmother of 21. So let's just get real.
I love it. I love it. So you joined my LightWeb program. When did you join that?
So I was in that process of doing the millionaire
$1 million
experiment. And every time you had a class, I signed up for the program. And so LightWeb was just in that journey. So I think you had already had it a couple of times before I had joined, but now this is coming up to my 2.5. I'm in the 2.5 mark with LightWeb, and it keeps getting better and better.
Amazing, amazing. When you were first, how did you know that LightWeb was for you? What was the thing that sort of pulled you and spoke to you about it? Because it's a strange course, because it's not one that we go into the ins and outs and you will learn this and you will learn that, because the way that we always say it is that LightWeb calls you to it. So it's not really a case of it's not a traditional course in any way, shape, or form.
No, I was on my soul's calling, if that makes sense.
Perfect.
I wanted to make sure I was on purpose, and it felt right. And I knew that I wanted to go deeper, personally go deeper, and take on more responsibility that I was called here to do. And there's not very many people who can lead you properly. And but you speak truth. Everybody, there is no holding back to the truth when you're in the room. And that transparency, you can resonate with that. And then all the healing sessions that happen when I read your books, and I read them every day, it's like we're in conversation, even though you and I are not in the room, because you're a first edition and you wrote the book. When I hear you, I know it's true all the way through. Does that make sense?
Perfect. I love that. I'm receiving that in. It's such a compliment. Tell us how LightWeb has changed your life and changed your way of approaching life. What are some of the ways that you can feel a difference that LightWeb has made for you?
Now you're going to make me cry. So, as you know, but the others don't, my daughter, who was the midwife of our practice, she was dying of cancer. And I know she's an old soul. And each one of your healing moments, sorry, my camera likes to act up. Each one of the healing moments healed part of my soul.
Beautiful.
And helped me expand my ability to serve her and to serve others more. And that's been the greatest reward.
Amazing, amazing. And to make such a difficult time in your life easier to walk with,
yes,
is, and it's never going to negate the whole situation of your daughter passing, but to be able to walk with it with greater ease. I mean, that's, for me as a teacher, that's a privilege to hear that. And when the thing that we give you is lifetime access to LightWeb. So have you felt that every time you go through it, you create shifts?
Yes, and I review the material. I review the lessons in the back. I just don't take it for granted. Like when you print something out or you have a homework, I print it. I have 4 3-ring binders right now filled with material and lessons. And even in reading your book this morning, when you were talking about, the healing, your fears. And we just did a healing of fears. It stays true. And then new applications show up because you're in a new state.
Well, that's it, isn't it? I mean, the consciousness continues to rise. And this is why we always, I've never had a course like LightWeb where I get accused so often of changing the course material. And I'm like, no, it's the same material. But what's happened is the person who's taking LightWeb has so fundamentally changed from the first time they've taken it to the second time. And because you get that lifetime access, you don't have to worry about, will you invest in doing it again and again? You've only got your time to invest because you own it, and now you can keep coming to all the live rounds with LightWeb.
Yeah.
If somebody was listening to this, Carol, and they listened to your story, maybe they're resonating and hearing something, and maybe they're going through their own hardships or difficulties and things, and they feel called to LightWeb, what would you tell a person like that, whether it's for them or not?
I think it is an answer to a mother's prayer. From one heart to another, there's a golden thread. And we as women need to reinstate and stand on the shoulders of the women who've gone before us and prayed. And I really believe that it is divinely chosen. And when you hear it, you're being called. Just decide to say yes and receive that love. Yeah.
It is a very loving energy, isn't it?
Yes, very much so.
Have you felt that your intuition and being able to listen to that intuitive part of you has increased as a result as well?
Yes, absolutely. So many places I have more certainty. And I still, some places I still have a little shaky knees every once in a while, but still going through it and doing it and finding myself on the other side. And I love the community because it's a supportive community. So I know that I'm getting hugs, virtual hugs. And I like that.
I love that. So the community is amazing with LightWeb. And it is such a safe space that we can share pretty much anything, whether we're going through something hard. But equally, because I think as women, it's really difficult sometimes for us to share celebrations as well. And we can equally share celebrations in that space too.
Yes. And I think it's really important, as you say, to celebrate all the little steps along the way as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much, Carol, for coming and having a chat with us today about LightWeb. Tell people where they can find you on the interwebs, and we'll make sure we'll link it below.
Well, I'm on LinkedIn, and that's one location, but my website is Doula Family Certification. And there they can find all about me there.
Magic. That's amazing. Thank you so much for joining us.